Hey, let's go ahead and get started with the spirit or messages from your spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. We already have building blocks, okay? Something you are building blocks for your future, a change in the wind, and be flexible, okay? Bottom of the deck, truth be told. All right, I think I feel like for a lot of you, you've been building things for building on top of, building your stability, okay, for some of you. And maybe there's this change that is coming in right now. You thought you were going one way, you thought you were building something, some type of a truth came out. There was this change in the wind. And, funny enough, we are starting Mercury shadow right now. We also had Neptune go retrograde, which is a change in the wind. Neptune went retrograde, Saturn went retrograde, Pluto went retrograde, and Mercury is getting ready to station to go retrograde. So with all of those retrograde, it's kind of like what you were building, you need to go back over, okay? So there's this change in the wind. Maybe there's something that you forgot. Maybe there's, you need to tend to some type of details. You're going to have to be very flexible at this time in our lives, because with retrogrades, it can feel like we're not really gaining any traction because we're not moving forward. We're going back over. And, I feel like a lot of people, we tend to villainize, the retrogrades. Oh God, here comes another retrograde. But retrogrades give us the opportunity to rethink, reevaluate, reiterate, redo, rest, realize, anything you can in front of. So I feel that, and it's like maybe there was something that you forgot to take care of, then the retrogrades come in and then it like shines a light on that, topic, and you're like, oh, okay, I need to take care of this. Or it's like, if your vehicle, the check engine light's been on and you've been ignoring it this entire time, when Mercury goes to retrograde, it's going to break your car down out in the middle of nowhere because you already knew that those things were going to happen. So that's why it's saying like there's going to be a change in the wind, and we're all going to have to be flexible. Look at the state of the world right now, okay? Today, as I'm doing this reading, we've had a cyber attack. This is, remember, what everybody was afraid of, for Y2K, for those of you who are old enough to know what that is. Okay, now we're in it. Okay, Microsoft went down. This is exactly what Y2K was all about, that the whole collective was so worried about, and it never happened. Well, now it's happened. We got all these airports that are shut down. There's your change in the wind, and now you're going to have to figure out something else or postpone or delay your travels. So, I don't feel like for a lot of you, you are getting the honest truth. Definitely stop fucking watching CNN if you are, because that's all garbage and they're lying to you and gaslighting you. For those of you who really want to know what the fuck's going on, go watch Leave the World Behind, because I do feel that is playing out. And if you think that this is going to be the only cyber attack, I have an igloo in Arizona that I can sell you. Okay. So with that said, I do feel like for a lot of people, we're having to, rethink, the way that we do certain things. I feel like a lot of people, it's, technology is a very dangerous place. And so if you are, reliant upon your internet, or you're reliant upon like all this digital energy that are, services that they're trying to put out, digital currency, Bitcoin, all of those can get like cyber attacks. So I would be perfectly honest with you. I would not put in any more than you're okay with losing. Let's just put it that way, especially when it comes to anything digital at this time. So again, you're talking about, that always reminds me of like coins, like she stacked up all these coins and she's standing on top of them, because it is like, this is all about our investments as well. And so maybe it's a time for you to start thinking about new investments. Maybe it's time for you to think about tangible investments. You got all these, invest very small amounts if you're going to do that in these cryptos and these Bitcoins, because they're not tangible. Anybody could, at the press of a button, look at today, all the airports are being shut down, no flights going out. There was all these people who are being stranded right now, all because of a cyber attack, which showed up on Leave the World Behind. That's called predictive programming. What they do is they program you guys into seeing it. Okay, they watched a movie, and then when it's actually happening, people go, no, that could never happen. That only happens in the movies. Really? Look around. In Leave the World Behind, let's go over that for a second. It talks about the cyber attacks. The day after I watched it one night, and the next morning I woke up and China had attacked Hawaii's water. Okay, that was in the movie. Also in the movie was a boat just taking off and going onto land. Didn't we just have boats supposedly take off and run into a bridge? Well, now we have another cyber attack. Haven't we had Teslas taking off on their own, driving themselves? I just watched a video where a cop pulled over a car that had no driver in it. Okay? Do you see what I'm saying? So if you think that these movies are just Hollywood, you got another thing coming. Because right now, we are living in Bird Box. Right now, we are also living the Hunger Games. Right now, we are also living Divergent. Right now, we are living in, well, we're about ready to head to Civil War, which is why they put that movie Civil War out. And we're living in, what did I just say? Leave the World Behind. Okay? All predictive programming. So again, we need to, as a collective, start thinking about how we're going to maneuver differently, and how maybe it's time for you to start investing. That's what I was talking about here, in something tangible, gold, real estate, property, anything that is anything you can touch, see, feel, or taste. Okay. Because if not, well, it can just be like poof out in the ethers, and you're like, and now you've lost the farm. Okay, so do keep that in mind. On a brighter note, which we both know that I am not here to blow smoke up your ass, so no topic is off limits on my channel. And if that bothers you, I thank you for being here. Please find a reader that is for you, okay? No hard feelings. I completely understand. And if you thumbs down me, you're just giving me ratings as well, so it doesn't hurt my channel in the least bit. So keep that in mind. Anyway, all right. I also hear a zebra never changes his stripes. Okay. That's going to mean something to someone. So we do have the new romantic cycle begins, but I'm not seeing it as a romantic cycle. Okay. I'm not seeing this as a love reading by any means. When it sits underneath the building blocks, I feel like this is more financial. You do see these in courthouses, and you see them in the banks, the balancing of the scales. This is Libra energy. And so what I'm seeing here is, balancing out your financial issues, like building blocks towards your future, and making sure that whatever you're putting out is also what you are getting back. Okay, the ebb and flow of your financials. Okay, and then we've got the change in the wind, balancing spirituality and practicality. A lot of people just want to be all out in the ethers and pretend none of this stuff is going on, and that's good and fine, but you also have to be practical, because you do live on earth like the rest of us. There is a such thing as called reality, and the reality of these situations, the reality of what's going on with your finances. Are you getting what you're putting out as well? And then we've got a personal issue reaches resolution. Okay, bottom of the deck, what do we got? Have faith in your dreams. All right. So this is a bit about being honest, and it's also about give and take. What you put out is what you get back. So I do feel, a lot to do with also some of you like purchasing of a home. I'm definitely getting that, looking at your asset to debt ratio. Unfortunately, then you don't buy a home, your home buys you, just so you know. So I am seeing the home here on his back. Some of you are packing up and moving homes. And some of you are deciding to buy a motor home and go off grid and just do your own thing. I like that idea. I'm not going to lie. I would totally love to purchase myself just a mini little motor home and something I can put around. Like, that is my dream. That way I can go and travel, and I can see new places, and I'm never tied down to one spot. So whoever that is that I'm tapped into, yes, do that. Have faith in your dreams. I'm definitely having faith that that's going to be a dream I'll fulfill one day. But in the meantime, it's about getting honest about what it is that we're doing, and get honest with yourself about the state of affairs of what's really going on in the world. I don't feel like there is enough truth of, be careful of the masks that people are wearing. I almost see this as a bandit, one of those bandits. Okay. and people wearing masks. Everything you are seeing right now, there is an illusion that is being spun on it because of that Mercury retrograde. So be careful of fighting, arguing, miscommunications. Make sure you are getting all your shit taken care of, and make sure that you're not spending too much, putting too much out than what's coming back. Okay. And make sure that we do have equal give and take when it comes to our relationships as well. I do feel like you are going to be able to, reach a milestone when it comes to your work, okay, for a lot of you. And when it comes to, I do feel like for some of you, you do have some new ideas that you are formulating right now. And it's saying like, have faith in those dreams. Like, I almost feel like there's like a sprout, right, of an idea. I'm seeing that right here on her head, right? I just see that one tulip sprouting. So it's like there is growth there, but maybe you've been holding something down, something you've been incubating for quite some time. And I feel like, you're ending some cycles, you're coming to realizations about certain, things in your life on how to move forward. You need to be very flexible about how things come about. Don't think you're just going to go from point A to point B back to point A again. It's not like that. That's not how the universe works. You get from point A to point D to point F to point, N, and then maybe to Z, and then back to B, and then maybe back to, L, and then maybe to A. Okay? Like, we are all jumbled up right now. So just be flexible with everything that's going on. Also, for some of you, you really do need to start working out. I know for myself, that goes for me too. Getting back into yoga, working on your flexibility, but also just being flexible with everything that's going on in the world today, you guys. Very, very important. Don't believe everything you hear about anyone. It's all bullshit and lies that are being spread right now. And again, we're dealing with a whole bracket of people. You have no clue what they're capable of. I think they've been kind of showing you, unless you've been under a rock. Okay. So keep your head on a swivel is my advice to you. You can try to ignore things that are going on in the world, but you might miss out on something. Okay. So keep that in mind and don't follow the crowd. They're lost. Love you guys all so much. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in a personal reading, all my information is in this description box down below. I love you guys, each and every one of you. Thank you for donating to my channel. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your support. And check me out over on Facebook and Instagram under the Footsteps to Peace and Peace Unhinged Tarot. And thank you to everyone who has donated. I do genuinely appreciate it. It helps me put out these videos every single day. Energy for energy. I appreciate it. Take care, guys. We'll talk soon.